मनोज सर,
देखिए सबसे जो अहम चीज देखी गई है इस मैच में वो है कि जो प्लान होता है वो यही कहता है कि जिसको मौका मिले वो लंबी बारी खेले। वो एंकर रोल निभाया रोहित ने और उसका बेहतरीन तरीके से साथ दिया है सुरेश रैना ने, क्योंकि अगर सुरेश रैना थोड़ा एक्सेलरेट नहीं करते तो सारा का सारा प्रेशर आता था रोहित के ऊपर और रोहित को अगर तेज खेलने की जरूरत पड़ती तो वहां वो आउट हो सकते थे। तो यही एक सबसे बड़ी
और आगे जरा जल्दी से लिए चलते हैं दर्शकों को महेंद्र सिंह धोनी की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
The good over, we said okay, add another 10 runs to it. So we kept doing that and ended up with 300 runs, which I felt was a good score. But at the same time, it needed us to bowl good areas, to get wickets with the new ball and all of that stuff. I don't think it was like a par plus score. I think it was close to par score. But still, if opposition, they would have batted well, they could have got those runs.
MS, could you talk about Rohit Sharma's innings as well as Suresh Raina's innings? When Shikhar Dhawan, he went to strike rate of 60, and then Rahane also struggled, but Rohit kept going around 90 or something, and then Raina came in and hit at a much faster rate.
I think if you see what really happens is, it was a bit difficult to score. The reason being, if 4 of your top 5 batsmen, if they are not striking very cleanly and if they're finding it difficult, definitely it means there's something on offer for the fast bowlers. And I thought they started off really well. Once they started bowling that back of a length channel, it was difficult for the batsmen to freely rotate. What could have been done was, we kept losing wickets. I felt once Ajinkya and Rohit, their partnership was building, they could have gone on and played maybe a few more overs. The reason being, if you have already played 35-40 deliveries, the new batsman coming in, if you are finding it difficult, he will certainly find it difficult. So he will have another 15-20 deliveries minimum, and that keeps piling up. So apart from that, I felt Rohit and Raina, they batted well. Rohit, the reason being, wickets kept falling on the other side, and still he kept himself very calm. His strike rate dropped, but still he knew if he's there and if he plays maximum number of overs, he can definitely score and score at a good pace. Raina, we all know, he's a natural stroke maker. He can, more often than not, what we have seen, he can go in and he strikes quite early. So it's always good to have somebody like him, batting at number 5. But overall, I think how they took the game forward was very crucial, because one more wicket at that point of time and you could have ended up, maybe close to 250 runs.
Yeah. Captain, winning the toss turned out to be important, and also 7 matches you bowled out the opposition.
Well, I don't know whether winning the toss was important or not. It was one of those games, where we would have been quite happy to chase also, but there was a bit of forecast for rain, but we decided it's not high enough to say, okay, let's chase. And also big games, you want to put runs on the board, and always it puts pressure, because just that the stakes are high. So it was good, but I felt the wicket was also good in the second half. It was not like it misbehaved how it did when we played against South Africa. So it was a good wicket. There was a bit of pace. I felt the pace increased a bit, and that's one reason why I would say Ash bowled really well, because if you just see the stats, 10 over I don't know how many runs, no wickets. In India, media don't rate people high if you don't take wickets. So but if you see how he maintained and created that pressure, that was one of the reasons the batsmen, they had to go after the other fast bowlers, and because of which we got wickets. So overall, very good by the bowling department. And the good thing, as you said, it's in a row, like we have got quite a few teams out, and it has never really happened with the Indian cricket team. So it's definitely a big positive. Sanjay.
After 7 convincing wins, how much confident as a captain you are that yes, we can do it once again?
I think what's important for us is, we have scored runs in all the, whether we are batted first or chased, and still we don't have our batsmen in the top 5 run scorers list for the World Cup, which means, everybody has chipped in, everybody has contributed. which is a good position to be in, especially in the knockout stages. And we'll have to keep repeating what we have been doing, as simple as that. You win a game, whatever you have done right, you have to keep repeating. Maybe the individuals who get the number of wickets, they will change. The batsman who scores runs, the names will change. But till we are scoring runs and we are taking wickets, that will be good for us.
Miss, could you talk us through the power play phase? There was no mindless logging, but you still collected 50 runs. And did that play a crucial role in salvaging the innings back?
I think power play is something we have done well on and off. I don't think we have consistently done well in the power plays. What actually went wrong quite a few times was the fact that we actually lost a wicket just before the start of power play. And then, you go into the first over and the second over, you lose one more wicket. And from that point, you can't really cash in, during the power play. And I felt what we are doing well over here is, we are playing proper strokes. But at the same time, what's important is not to consider power play as a lottery system where you're like, okay, 5 overs, we want to get 55, 60 runs. I think 5 overs, if you look for 35 to 40 and if you bat well, you will end up getting 45 runs. And not only that, it actually gives you a bit of momentum going into the slog overs, and with two set batsmen and the bowlers slightly on the back foot, you can accumulate more runs. So I feel in the last few games, that's what we have done, not aimed too high, but at the same time played quite a few proper cricketing shots, and that has really helped.
Mahi, are you happy with the circumspect approach of the top order batsmen in the early overs, or do you think at least one of them has to play like, say, a Sehwag used to, by blazing away, so that there's not much pressure on the batsman to follow, or do you wish to keep wickets in hand all the time?
No, if you see, Virupa was special, there are not many people around who can do what he does. And also you have to bat according to the strengths that you have, and I feel both Shikhar and Rohit, they have been doing that well. And also the fact, you can't just go and slog. So whatever your strength is, back your strength, have a good approach about, what's really happening, what kind of an assistance the bowlers are getting off the wicket. And then you keep revising as to where you need to be at the end of the 10th over. Quite a few times we have seen there are few teams that have scored over 60 runs, but more often than not, I feel most of the teams are close to the 40 run mark or 45 run marks, on an average. So I think, a good start is important, and it may not always mean the number of runs. It can mean a good partnership and, batsmen being set there.
MS, your thoughts on Shikhar Dhawan's catch? In today's era, usually fielders make it look very easy, but from a player's point of view, can you tell us how difficult it is and about the evolving fielding in that respect, catching on the boundary?
I think it's something that T20 has brought into the game, and it's not only in the ODIs and T20 now, even in test matches we see that, with the fielders, close to the boundary. And it's just that awareness is there, amongst the players as to where they are and what needs to be done. And with them being more fit, they can actually exploit it. But overall, it's something, it's like reverse sweep. People used to sweep initially, and then more often than not it was considered quite a bad shot, and now people play the reverse sweep even to the fast bowler. So, the game keeps changing, and according to the demands of the game, the individuals, they keep improving their game, and this is just another, you can say, an area where the fielders, they have improved themselves. Like you had two fielders going to the boundary, one flicking it back, the other throwing. So all these things keep happening, and you don't know, what may you see in the next 5 years' time. Okay.
Captain, do you notice any change in the Rohit of 4 years ago and the Rohit of now?
Well, I think if I compare, if I have to go back 4 years, it won't be a realistic comparison. The reason being, he was not really opening for us at that point of time, and we felt he was a bit of waste of talent if he was batting at 6 for us, because more often than not he was not getting enough chance to bat, and our top order was quite fixed, so we couldn't really make him play or give him enough opportunities. And that's one of the reasons why, if you see the first 40 games, you may think he has not done enough, but out of those 40, there were quite a few games where he went into bat in the last 5 overs or 4 overs. And it's difficult, in a 5-match series, if you're playing and your top order is batting really well in India, at times you don't really get a chance to bat, and you may get a chance in the last maybe couple of matches with 10 overs to go, and it all counts as chances. So that was the time we decided, we'll try to make him an opener, and he accepted that. He did open for us in the T20 World Cup, and from that point we thought, it will be good to have him as an opener because he cuts and pulls well, and he's a natural stroke player again, which, to some extent helps, if you have somebody in the top order, once he gets going, if he can play long innings.
Last 6 innings. Who do you expect to win tomorrow? And if it is Australia, have you ever felt better prepared?
Doesn't matter. Because when it comes to the World Cup, you have to play against each and every team, and you have to win against each and every team. So it doesn't really matter who wins.
If it is Australia, have you ever felt better prepared, given the form in the tournament?
Are you putting money on bet.com or something?
Mahi, from the start of the tournament, you've talked about momentum and how important it is. But given your experience in the knockout phases, especially in the big events, what is the subtle difference in approach, or what do you think that the team has to do to be successful in the knockout phase in all matches?
I think one of the most difficult things to do is to keep it simple. You start assessing everything because, being human beings, that's what we do better than some of the other animals. We are good thinkers, and overthinking can actually kill you, especially in an environment like this where there's already so much pressure, especially if you're part of the Indian cricket team. It's not only about doing well on the field, even when you go out, you have to have proper dinner, otherwise the camera gets you there also. So it's a mix of everything, but keeping it simple helps, and playing good cricket, and what it does, it just keeps your confidence going forward. It just increases your confidence in each and every game, and you just feel a bit more relaxed, when you're executing your plan. So it's a mix of everything, and I feel so far, we have done well to keep it simple.
Ramesh, could you tell us a little bit about the pitch, because it seemed like the ball was not